Well, joining us now is Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Angela Rayner. Hello to you, Ms Rayner. Thanks for joining us. I suppose, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place this morning, aren't you? Because you're glad to see what happened to Boris Johnson, but I'm guessing you want him to stay in post now until an election.
No, I don't want Boris Johnson to stay in post because, as you know, many of the public see politicians in general as untrustworthy. And I think Boris Johnson is pulling down the standards in public life, which is why we've got the motion today to uphold them. But I think he's doing a very disservice to the country, and it's pretty clear now that the British public have lost all confidence in Boris Johnson. I mean, if you can't have a Prime Minister that follows his own rules and doesn't lie to Parliament and lie to the British public, then where is the standards? You know, we've lowered the tone so bad that, he could get away with just about anything. So I don't think it's a good day. I think he is mortally wounded now, and I think that, he's only got an 80 majority within Parliament, and therefore he's pretty clear that over 70% of his backbenchers didn't back him. So I think he should have done the right thing by now and resigned already. But this Prime Minister doesn't really consider himself to follow rules.
But don't you want a wounded Prime Minister in position while you sort your party out?
No, I think, our party obviously in 2019 in the general election lost badly. And I think since myself and Keir have taken over, we've been making steady progress. If you'd have said we are where we are today, back then, I think most people would have laughed at us. But we know we've got work to do. But I think, when you've got a Prime Minister who lies to the British public, who breaks his rules. I mean, number 10 was the most heavily fined house in the whole of the United Kingdom when it came to the COVID rules. Cleaners were having to clean up vomit and wine off the walls. I mean, it wasn't a one-off. This was serial partying going on in number 10 when people couldn't see their loved ones. I don't think it's going away. I think every day that Boris Johnson is Prime Minister is damaging the standards in public life, and it damages us all. So I don't think it's a good thing that he continues. I think he's arrogant. I think he's dismissive. I think he's a liar, and I don't think he should hold the office of Prime Minister.
Yeah, but you as a party are still not ready to run the country, are you?
I think we are. I think we've shown that actually when you look at the issues that people are facing at the moment, whether that's the cost of living, the travel chaos, whether that's the situation with the NHS, we've got the answers to those damaging questions that people are asking at the moment. Boris Johnson is too busy navel-gazing, looking after himself to look at the issues that many working people of this country are facing at the moment. And that's damaging for people because, rather than saving and supporting people that need that help now that vote for us, Boris Johnson is trying to save his own skin.
But how can you be ready when the leader and the deputy leader are still facing a police inquiry?
Well, because, you see, here's the difference with the police inquiry on that occasion when we were in work. We're very confident that we were working, and we've said categorically, if we were issued with a fixed penalty notice, we would resign because standards in public life matter. It matters beyond me, it matters beyond Keir, and it matters beyond Boris Johnson. He broke the rules that he set, and he's decided that those rules don't apply to him. I think it's damaging for the public because, if he breaks those rules and lies to the public now, what else is he going to lie about? He's bringing everyone down. I think that's the issue here. And the big difference is that there is one investigation into one work event that we're very confident that will be fine. And that if it isn't, we've said categorically that we shouldn't carry on in post. I think the Prime Minister, over 120 fixed penalty notices, numerous parties going on in number 10, and he's had a fixed penalty notice and he doesn't think he should resign. I think that's appalling.
But facts are facts, aren't they? And the leader and the deputy leader of the opposition have both received questionnaires. So, in other words, question under police caution, and they still have a police investigation outstanding. You're not ready. You can't run the country yet while you're in that position.
Well, yeah, of course we can. We're very ready to do that. We've been talking about the issues that matter to people, like the windfall tax on the energy companies to support people, to look at a renewable energy programme that creates jobs in this country and deals with our long-term energy needs, to have a new deal for working people that provides flexibility and work that pays for people. We've got a programme for change and we're getting on with that. And we're very clear that if the police found us to be guilty and give us a fixed penalty notice, we would resign. We're very confident that we didn't break the rules and that we followed all the rules to the letter.
But that's rolling the dice, isn't it? And that's putting the Labour Party in jeopardy, because if that did happen, and you don't know if it will or not, if it did, and you were in the middle of a general election campaign, say the Prime Minister calls a snap election, then the leader and the deputy leader would have to step down. What would that do for the credibility of the party?
But I don't think it's rolling the dice. I think it's called doing the right thing. I think there has to be a standard, a line that is drawn between the contract to the British public and those that hold public office. It's an honour and a privilege to have the roles that myself and Keir have got. And we know that we do that with the goodwill of our party and with the people that voted for us as MPs. We're saying that if we broke the rules, we would resign. We would not carry on. Boris Johnson says it doesn't matter and has laughed in people's faces and lied to them when they couldn't see their loved ones. Now, if myself and Keir did resign, we're not the only people in the Labour Party. We're a team. We work together in the Labour Party and have done that. And we work in the interests of the public. Unlike Boris Johnson, who is a bit of a tin pot dictator now, who thinks he could just carry on regardless anyway without broken his own rules. And he's not listening. He's lost the confidence of the British public and he's now lost the confidence of many of his MPs. He's limping on because he doesn't think the rules apply to him. And I think he's going to find out pretty clear through the by-elections that actually the British public do not like liars, people who break the rules. And I think it's going to be very damaging for his party and for politics in general if the Prime Minister carries on.
Tin pot dictator, that's very strong words there from you this morning, Ms Rayner. Will the Labour Party be calling for a vote of no confidence in the whole government?
Well, today we've set out a motion which is about upholding standards in public life, which Boris Johnson again wants to cherry-pick that. The chair have been very clear that the whole report should be implemented and we agree with that. So we've put a motion down today to ensure that we at least set a bar that is higher than where Boris Johnson is, so that we can, restore some trust in public office. And of course we'll look at all options going forward. But, the Prime Minister ignores. He should have resigned months ago. He knows he broke the law. He knows he lied to the British public, but, he'll just keep limping on because he doesn't think the rules apply to him. And he's laughing at the general public and taking them for fools. And I think most of the public will not move on while Boris Johnson is Prime Minister.
And in answer to my question, will you be calling for a vote of no confidence in the whole government?
Well, we'll see how we go on for the rest of the week. Obviously, we'll speak to other parties as well. But we're very clear that the Prime Minister doesn't have the confidence of the House. It's pretty clear from the votes of his own MPs that he's lost a lot of significant confidence within his own political party. And if he had an ounce of integrity, which he removed from the code, he would have resigned by now.